Okay, guys, only 2 days to go.
Cool. Okay, we'll do what now.
We gotta go big or go home. We're down to the gold. Never been a better time to put it all on the line. Ooh, yeah. Time to put it all on the line. Win big. Time to put it all on the line. Yeah, put it all. Win big. Gonna get crazy. Nothing good ever comes easy. Waited for this moment for a long time. All this pain became a friend of mine. Yeah, that was such a long road with a heavy load. Now we're gonna win it all. Yeah. Time to put it all on the line. Yeah. We're gonna win big. Win big. Yeah. Time to put it all on the line. Put it all on the line. Yeah. Win big.
Hey there, Kick in the Bushes, Adam here. Just wanted to let you all know we are live at the Bruthen Inn tonight for the Omeo and District Football Netball League Grand Final Show. So without further ado, let's go straight to our hosts, Reese and Cookie.
Thanks, Adam. Fantastic intro, mate. You did a heap of work during the week. We're going to actually have to raise our voices a little because our mics aren't going through the speakers. Listen, it's fantastic to be here, Reese, at the Bruthen Inn on the grand final eve of the Omeo and District Football Netball League Grand Final.
Yeah, it's awesome, Cookie. Thanks for stretching the Bruthen community, opening their arms up tonight. There's a fair crowd of them. We might have to chuck a couple of schoolies in tonight with the locals and see how we end up. But all in all, we're here to review the footy for tomorrow, and it's looking tight. So
It is, and we've got a really good lineup of people for tonight. We're going to have some netballers in. We're going to have Kathy Whittingham in from the Lindenow South Football Netball Club. We're going to have Lucy Leaning and Rachel Forrest in from the Bruthen Football Netball Club. Who else have we got, Reese?
we've got Dick.
Dick, he's a repeat offender.
Richard Harrison, smooth mover from Swiss Creek. Who else we got?
And we've got David Westland to join him as well from Swifts Creek. And we've also had a late entry. Will O'Keefe's going to join us as well from Lindenow South with Dick. So it's going to be a fantastic night. So listen, should we just quickly just go through the games? So tomorrow up there at Omeo, as it stops snowing up there, Reese, that's what I want to know.
Seen the photos today, mate, and the snow was off, but apparently a little bit muddy still. 6 mil.
They had 6 mil. So in the senior football tomorrow, we've got Lindenow South, the Swampies go up against Swifts Creek. We'll get to talk a little bit more about that game during the night.
Yeah, a couple ins, couple outs, mate. Not too sure of the omissions or injuries, so we'll catch up with the crew, see what they reckon.
And then in the A grade netball, we've got Lindenau South versus Bruthen. And in the B grade netball, we've got Lindenau South versus Buchan, and we'll have definitely some experts, some netball experts to talk later on.
Plenty of experts in it. It's just finding the right one tonight, Cookie, I reckon.
That's correct. Then in the under-16 football, we're going to have Lindenau South and Buchan. And in the under-17 netball, we'll have Buchan and Bruthen.
All good. Let's get into it.
Let's get our first guest here tonight. And our first guest, as I mentioned, is Kathy Whittingham from Lindenau South. Kathy's the captain of the Lindenau South A grade. How are you, Kathy?
Good, thanks.
Can you take that so we can hear you on the live YouTube?
No worries.
You just have to speak up a bit. So, Kathy, thank you very much for coming down tonight. We really appreciate it. You'd probably be rather at home eating a pasta meal or something like that. How are you feeling before tomorrow's game?
Feeling pretty good. I think I've got everything organised for tomorrow. Usually at the pub on a Friday night anyway, so just nothing out of routine for me.
Nice work. Now, you got the kids in tomorrow, got Rob in tomorrow. How is the stress levels at home at the moment?
Oh, it's pretty typical week at home for footy. You know, we're always there, always got footy going, so pretty normal really for the kids and I.
And Kathy, not only are you the captain of the A grade netball side, but you're the club secretary. You do a bit of umpiring. You also play a bit of women's football. How long have you been involved with the Lindenau South Football Netball Club?
Probably been involved at Lindenau South for about 16, 17 years now. Played netball out there that whole time in the seniors, and now we've got the A and B grades, so pretty much my second home in winter.
Awesome. Now, the women's footy, how'd it go?
We played in our grand final last Sunday against Moe Newborough, who were the best side all year. We played pretty well and held them off for the first 3 quarters, but they managed to get a couple of sneaky goals in the last and got a bit of a run on to win it by about 4 goals in the end. So.
Now, how was the coach? We did catch up with him during the year. How was he? Don't feel free to give him a bit of a clip.
Yeah, Robbie coached the women's side, and as much as he carries on and says we're a lot of hard work, he absolutely loves all the girls. He did really well. He manages to keep his temper under control with the girls and doesn't lose it too much at it. Overall, he was pretty proud with how the girls played and how well we went throughout the year. So
Nice.
Well, let's get down to it. Let's have a bit of a chat about the A grade netball grand final, Kathy. So it's you guys versus Bruthen. You come up against them in the second semi-final. You got home by 14 points. And I think just as I glance over the scores, they got you once this year. So can you tell us a little bit about the rivalry and what you're expecting tomorrow?
It's always a pretty tough game when we come up against Bruthen. I think our sides match up pretty evenly, and we always know that the girls are going to come out and really give us a run for our money. So it's just about making sure we play our game and not getting sucked into the way that they play.
What position do you typically play in, Kathy?
Goalkeeper, goal defence sometimes when Lana makes me run, but yeah, generally just down in the defensive end there. I wouldn't be any good at the other end, so I'll just stick with that and try to stop them from getting goals.
Now, Nikita Hayes, she's put a solid season in down back as well. How's she been?
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing to have Kate in the ring with me. She's a bit freakish. She's got those long arms, that long reach, and gets her hand over the ball and manages to get some tips and intercepts and rebounds in there as well. So.
Now, we've got a couple of the Bruthen girls coming on in a bit later. Who we, as an opposition, who you think we're looking for tomorrow that, you know, could put a bit of a game together for the Bruthen girls?
I think overall they're a really balanced side. Obviously you've got Lucy down in defence. She likes to hunt the ball and come through for those intercepts. And then you've got their shooters who are quite accurate and stuff as well. So it's always a big struggle. Stace usually runs the mid-court. She's really quick, so it's really hard to sort of shut her down as well. So overall they work really well together as a team.
And we should have a chat about the B grade netball grand final as well. which is you guys going up against Buchan. So Buchan actually won their way through the preliminary final. I know you play in the A grade, but what do you see happening there? Was that a bit of a surprise that Buchan got through?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to me, to be honest. It's always really interesting watching the other teams play each other. I umpired most of the B grade games throughout the year, and I probably thought that the Bruthen B grade would have it over Buchan, but it just goes to show that anything can happen in finals. So I think it'll be a really good game for our girls in the B grade as well, because Buchan always come to play as well. So
now we're obviously going up the altitude, high altitude up there. Does Buchan have any advantage up there in the B grade, or can the Swampettes, they're all right still?
I think they've probably got a bit of an advantage, because I think it snowed in Buchan this week just with the weather.
Yeah.
The altitude can be a bit tricky at times. None of us really like travelling up the windy road and get people a bit car sick and stuff, but the girls are all hoping to get up there nice and early so that they can feel a bit better by the time they play. I think it should be good games either way.
Yeah, nice. Now, just a quick review on the under-17s girls. I know we're putting you on the spot here, but can you give us any sort of info on the under-17 girls?
Well, I umpired.
Besides, we're calling the under-17 Buchan girls the Pebbles.
So I umpired most of the 17s games throughout the year as well, and Buchan and Bruthen definitely were the best under-17 sides throughout the season. They both have some really strong players, and I think at the end of the day, it's really going to come down to the accuracy around goals. It's probably going to be a lot closer than their previous game was, I think.
Now, it was tight until the last quarters. We just had a look through the scores, and they got done by 10, but it was only in the last quarter there that you were saying they got
Yeah,
done,
it was a pretty close game throughout, and then Buchan got a couple of goals up on the Bruthen girls, and managed to run it out to win by the 10 goals at Buchan there.
Awesome.
Well, listen, thank you so much, Kathy, for coming on the show tonight. In typical old-style football show form, we've got something to give you for coming on. We've got some Lukey's Smokehouse Cabana. We've got some 4 and 20 pies from Paddy's, and Jess has got some cruises there, which I'm sure you'll wait until tomorrow night to drink.
Thank you.
So we've got some Savs in there as well. There's some Savs from Lukey's as well.
It looks like we've got Mad Monday pretty set then. So.
That's right, absolutely. So thank you so much for coming on, Kathy.
Thanks
All
for
the
coming on,
best
Kath.
for tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Have
No
a great
worries.
day.
All the best.
Thank
See you later. To Adam?
President of the Bruthen Cricket Club.
Righto, thanks guys. Yeah, just
With everyone out there in clubland, country footy especially, one big issue we're facing is volunteers. They're virtually as rare as rocking horse shit at the minute. I even reckon there could be a doco brought out on it. I reckon I've seen the promo. It'll be something like, oh, if you look really closely, you will see the endangered helper, formerly known as the volunteer. But luckily tonight, folks, I have one of the best in the business who just happens to be standing behind me. He doesn't know it yet, but come over, mate. Of course. Roger.
I was just going actually.
Roger's been a volunteer at the Bruthen Footy Club for longer than I've been alive, I think. I just want to know, Rog, with the shortage of volunteers everywhere around the land at the moment, what drives you and just keeps you going to want to do it?
That's easy. Fair dinkum. The sexy netball girls. That's my bugger the footballers. Yeah, there's some of them here, look.
Yeah, no, not what I was expecting, but fair answer. So, we all need them. So, if we've got budding volunteers coming in, what would you say to them, like if they're thinking about it?
That's a good question, Adam, actually. I think first of all I'd ask them whether they like to drink a beer, because I like sneaking away into a corner with a couple of blokes and having a few beers. So if they're not into the beer, they can go and play. They can go and play for Linden South or one of them stupid clubs.
Now, just to mention, Roger marks the ground, cleans the rooms, cuts the oranges, takes all the stuff to the footy on the weekends. It's without people like this that clubs can't survive. And I know everyone is in the same boat right across the country. So, Roger, I've been thinking, what can we do to get volunteers? We need to start something. I'm thinking, what can we call it? Let's call it Take a Step Forward. So, for all you clublanders out there, this is not to the committees, this is to the people involved, the partners, the husbands and wives, the parents of the juniors. Next time you get to the footy and it's a bit cold and you go, oh, I'll sit in my car and got my thermos. No, let's get out, take a step forward and actually ask, what can I do to help this club out? Because I tell you, without you guys, we are all struggling. What do you reckon? Will it take off?
I tell you
Take
what,
a step forward.
I could do a striptease at half time every Saturday. I'm not kidding. You and I, Adam, that is, not just me.
You're in your own here, mate.
Oh, righto. Yeah, I reckon we could get a few extra, for sure.
But seriously, all country clubs need volunteers. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Sorry about that little delay there. We're going to try something a bit different now. We're going to hold the mics together. We've got the Jeff's live YouTube mic and the speaker not working. Don't need both, just that one. Oh, happy days. So thanks, Adam, fantastic, and that is so important. You're absolutely right. So your next job, Adam, is to find your next guest. So don't disperse away from Adam. So our next guests are Lucy Leeming and Rachel Forrest from the Bruthen Football Netball Club. Lucy actually was the league BNF this year, and as I say that, I feel bad because I've just got Rachel as a player, but that is very important as well. Of course, Bruthen have the A-grade netball girls playing tomorrow and also the under-17 netball. So it's great to have you here today, or tonight I should say, and again, thanks to Bruthen Inn for having us.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
No, you have to try and pass that around. You asked.
Righto, girls. Obviously had an awesome year this year. Luce, personally, you know, you've won the league BNF. That's a massive effort. What's going on down there? There's obviously a bit going on down at Bruthen at the moment, and you've got a good feeling. What's making the place so special? Obviously, there's heaps of people here, and it's a great feeling up at the pub.
It's absolutely about team for us. So it's after COVID, we all miss netball a lot, and the first time that we came back together and were able to train together, it's such an awesome atmosphere for women to come down and have a bit of a banter, have a run around and de-stress. It doesn't matter what else is going on in your life, when you're there at training and you're there with your teammates, it's just not only fantastic for your physical health, but your mental health as well. It's awesome.
Awesome. And you, Rach?
Yeah, a bit the same as Lucy, I guess. As soon as restrictions were lifted, there was probably half a dozen of us girls who, started our pre-season pretty early this year. So yeah, getting the fitness up, and I think that's been a bonus for us running out games and things like that this season.
So listen, we'll hop into the games a little bit, and it is so important, the mental health that you get out of playing sport and the community involvement. So that's a very, very important message. So tomorrow, the under-17 girls went through the hard way. They lost the second semi, won the preliminary final. How do you think they're going to go against against Buchan, sorry, too many words on the page, against the Pebbles tomorrow?
I've been privileged enough to train with the juniors and help out in the defence end, and they've got some really strong players. They will definitely all have to bring their A game tomorrow to beat Buchan, but they definitely have the potential to get across the line, especially if they're bringing that team working together as well. As soon as we start to think about individuals, that's when things start to fall apart for us.
Now, we spoke to the South girls, well, Kath mainly, but we've seen enough of the South girls this year. Obviously they've got a really strong club at the moment, right through footy, netball. What do you think that obviously, they've got a tight bond? Who's their better players? And what do you think as a club that they're doing right?
A bit the same as Kath was saying about us. They're just such a strong team, and it's really hard to actually find individuals where there's a weakness in that team. So we need to make sure that we're on our A game as well, and covering all of the 7 players that are on the court. Definitely Big Tash down forward. She's always throws up a challenge for us. We haven't quite beaten her in height yet, but we've been eating our jumping beans, so hopefully we'll be right for tomorrow.
Now, Rach, personally, how you been going? Where have you been playing? You're back, forward, mid? Talk to us.
So I've been thrown around a little bit this year. Started off up forward in wing attack, but then my good mate Mel, she's taken over that position. So I've thrown into the centre and back into wing defence, which has been a huge change for me. But being next door to Lucy has been amazing, and learning off her has been pretty good for someone my age, I guess.
Now, what about the conditions up there? The altitude, are you scared it's going to snow? Obviously, the milder climates of Bruthen. We don't see too much snow down here.
Look, we were pretty nervous when we saw those photos pop up on Facebook on, I think, Tuesday it was. But I guess we're in no advantage or disadvantage compared to South. They're in exactly the same shoes as we are. We are definitely not used to the snow. But last year I actually wore my snow gear to the game to watch the under-17s, and I'll be doing that again. So I'm nice and warm, ready for our game.
So listen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really wish you all the best for tomorrow. It's a fantastic effort to get to a grand final, and we hope that you put your best foot forward. We've got some prizes for you, and again we'll thank our sponsors, Paddy's. You're going to have to fight over the cruises, girls. Save them for on the trip home. So the cruises are provided by the Bruthen Inn, thank you very much, and in the other pack we've got some Paddy's pies and some Lukey's Savs and the Smokehouse Cabana. So thank you very much, girls. Great luck tomorrow. Thank you. We've got some more with Adam.
Yeah, thanks, Cookie. I've just found a guy here. We're going to talk a little bit of... Dick, if you wouldn't mind coming over. Dick from Lindenow South is this year assistant coach of the under-16s Lindenow South side, who went straight through to the grand final. So, mate, Buchan's your opposition.
Yes.
How have you fared against them during the year?
First time we played them, we got thumped by 20 or so goals. It was a tough day. We were slightly understaffed. The second time, I think we lost by about 33. We got a fair few lads back in, and for us that was as good as a win because you turn around 150 points, you got to be pretty happy about that. Third time I think was 15 points, which really gave the guys a lift. We were close to full strength at that point, and of course the first final was I don't think it was Buchan at their best. I think they've got more to come. It was an 80-point win, but to take nothing away, Rowan's done a pretty good job with those guys, and we have nothing but respect. It's going to be a tough day tomorrow. There's no two ways about it.
So they got you all 3 home and away games?
No, we got them by 15 in the last.
Oh, you were 15 in the last. You did have a slow start to the season, I did notice that. Unfortunately, of course, our Bruthen boys couldn't get through last week. Who you got to watch? Young Jeffy Jr.?
Jeffy's hard work anytime. We know that, I mean, I'm not giving anything away. We've got to not let Jeffy near the footy, simple as that. But they've got a bunch of young little jets as well, like Harry McGuinn, Cruz, Farley, you've got to watch him.
Young Joyner.
Billy Joyner, he's a handful. And I've forgotten the little fella's name, but he's number 11, I think. And he's slippery. He gets out on his own a lot. So we've got matchups, but at the same time, they've got a bit to worry about too. So.
Oh, yeah, no questions there. You've got some talent in the side as well. All right, mate. Well, thanks for that. Good luck for tomorrow.
Okay,
and hope it all goes well.
All the best. Appreciate it, Adam. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Good work, Adam. Thanks, mate. You just stole our next guest. You're right, Dick. You stay there, mate. We've got young Will here, so... No, it's all right. You stay there, Dick.
You want to come up? Get him up.
Come on, Dick. We'll get you twice in a row. So if you sneak on the other side there. So again, we've got Dick Barkos, the president from Lindenow South, with us, acting, and young Will O'Keefe, who's a senior footballer out at Lindenow South and part of a bit of a dynasty by the sounds of it, given that your mum was the last guest. Guys, so we'll have a little bit of a chat to you. Obviously, you've got a big day tomorrow. Will, can you give us a little bit of insight into what position you play, mate, and what sort of preparation you'll have for the game tomorrow?
So just normally play in the midfield or wherever I'm needed, really. It's going to be the same as any other game, really. Just prepare the same, do the same. But, yeah.
So through the midfield tomorrow, who else have you got? Who else is in the midfield with you? We've actually got the side there, haven't we? We did get sent the side, but who else? What are you rotating through with? Which other blokes, Will?
Just the same as all year, I believe. Like Polly, Ras, Shrek, just whoever really. Like just chop out, chop in.
Now, Willie, you're doing all right, mate. You get to start on the field while your brother and your old man's on the bench. So that's bragging rights, okay? So your old man's come in. I don't know where he got a game, but he's back in. And mate, that is super special that you get to play with your dad and your younger brothers. So how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's pretty special, really. Like, there's not too many people that could say they've played in the granny with their dad, I suppose. So it should be a pretty good moment.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, your brother Zach, mate, he's got some speed to burn and he's a good player. Could be the last chance you get to play with him.
Yeah, it could be too. You never know as time goes on, but could be a while.
So, Dick, Swifts Creek, you guys had them in the second semi. It was a pretty good game. It was a 10-point game. We're going to chat to a couple of Swifts Creek guys in a minute. So, who are the blokes that we should be looking out for tomorrow during the grand final in the seniors from Swifts Creek?
Well, obviously, Bo Hack ripped it up in the last quarter last week. It's the first 5 minutes each way I've ever seen in the ODFL. I was over at Bay 13. It was bloody exciting, I've got to say. It was a busy day for everyone. We did a great job over there, by the way. But yeah, look, the Hack boys, they got some good youth up there, and they're fast. And you know, that's why I think we've put a lot of youth in ourselves this week. You know, if Dylan doesn't fire, Bo does, and if both of them don't, Jesse does. So it's those three are just standouts for me. But I know there's a number of players up there that I can't name, and I apologise. But it's you know, Arthur Wright. He's another one. He can destroy it from one end to the other. So go on your lurch. You know, it's just everyone has to be on their toes. It's going to be a ripper. I can tell you, it's going to be one of the game for the ages, and I hope it doesn't come down to 5 minutes each way again, because we weren't even involved last week, and it was it was just really hard on the ticker. So.
Now, we brought in my old mate Jarrett Callaway, old hand, old veteran. Yes. He's played some good footy. He's been doing a bit in the gym, and he's looking fit. I rang him today just to get the inside and see how he's feeling. He's up and about. How was he on the track this week? He said he had to go last night, so he wasn't too sure whether he's got a game.
Jarrett's definitely in. He has overcome an injury and done it really well. He's turned the clock back this year, as did Noel Jans earlier in the season. Of course, he's off around Australia, our president, with the family. But yeah, Jarrett, he knows what to do. He's a very experienced player, and if he knows himself as well as anyone, and he knows about pain, and he knows how to push through it should the need arise, I think.
Now, Nolly, I am friends with him on Facebook. He seems to be touring the country. Like, what is he doing? Like, he's the president of the footy club, and he's up there just ginning around, doing whatever he's doing in the beaches. Have you heard from him? Or is he just kawab chatting?
I have heard from Noel on occasion. We still get together on the committee group chat, etc. He's I think he might have found a new way to run a footy club, actually, remotely from a long way away. You don't have to deal with the personal issues. Just settle the ship with a couple of sharp messages from time to time. But look, it's been great having Noel. You know, he's an old timer at the club, you could say now, and a great sponsor getter. He's been fantastic for us, and I hope he hangs around next year to help do the business, because I certainly couldn't do it by myself. You know, and I know he appreciates my help, and I appreciate the help of every bugger at the club, because honestly, this doesn't happen by itself. I can't reiterate any more what Lonnie said earlier. Volunteers are the heartbeat of every football club. Win or lose, 200 points down, doesn't matter a bugger, okay? Get around your club, because people work in your town, people associate with you, have fun, enjoy the game. Afterwards, we have a beer, we have a drink, a soft drink, whatever your inclination is, but volunteers are the heartbeat. That's where it starts, and I can't say enough about it. Thanks to everyone at every club and the whole league. It's been fantastic.
Good work, Dick, but I'll just touch on that as well, because I reckon is he going away for 12 months?
He's back in November. He'll be back shortly.
So I reckon after 10 months in the caravan with his missus and kids, I reckon he'll be ready to jump back on board and get out of the house.
He might play some good cricket.
So listen, thanks heaps, Will and Dick, for coming on and having a quick chat to us the night before. It's going to be a huge day for you guys tomorrow. We wish you all the best. We've got Jess here again. Yeah, you can't have the beers, Will. Beers donated by the pub. And again, Paddy's and Lukey's have donated some of that stuff, mate. Probably don't have that for breakfast tomorrow. So thanks, Dick Barkos, and thanks, Will O'Keefe. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, boys. Thank you. Thanks, Will.
And we've got Adam with another special guest here, Bruthen's favourite son.
Great work on the volunteers there, Dick. Spot on, mate. Let's get that, take a step forward and ask what you can do around the club.
Exactly.
All right, guys. I've got a bit of football royalty here from around the traps. Adrian Bromwich. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Adam. How are you?
No, I'm not too bad, mate. So you were on the AFL Gippsland for a while. None of that going on at the moment, mate?
No, finished up with AFL Victoria about 3 years ago.
Yep.
And I've been concentrating on Meetung Hot Springs at the moment. So we're based here, but living in Meetung, back in Meetung. It's nice to be there.
So are the hot springs open yet, mate?
No, we're into the golf club, but we're hoping November. Long weekend in November will be open.
There you go, folks. A bit of a scoop there. Get down to the hot springs in November. Now, last time I actually talked to you, Adrian, was when I was running Auskick about 8 years ago, I think. You had the seminar in town and talked me through it. Well, you'll never guess, mate. I ran Auskick again this year too, mate, because no one would step up.
The volunteers always keep giving. It's great.
The volunteers, mate. So also you played in the Bruthen Premiership. I think we just worked out 87, was it, as a 15-year-old?
Yeah, 87, 88, somewhere around there it was. So, as a young tacker. I was actually just chatting to Stewie McLaren about it out the back. I remember that was the one where we played at Ensay and we played against Benambra when Benambra were back in the day, and there was all in brawl before the game. And I didn't know what was going on. I was a 15-year-old. We settled down, ended up winning the grand final, and had a good day. So it was a good one. So
it's funny you say that, because I played in the 17 flag for Bruthen as a young 46-year-old. And there was an all-in brawl after the game, mate. What's going on with all that?
Well, I actually remember that one really well too, because I was doing all the awards that day, and I was standing there, and there was chaos around. There was the Lindo South boys and the Bruthen boys going at it. It was, in my role, it wasn't great to see, but behind the scenes, it was good to see.
In my role, taking 30 years of senior footy to get a premiership, I went nowhere near it, mate. I was too busy slugging away straight up, I tell you what. Oh, yeah. All right, mate. Thank you very much for having a chat here on A Kick in the Bush, and we'll go cross back to the guys. Thanks, Cookie.
Fantastic, Adam. You're absolutely right. Football royalty, and you're very lucky to have him out here at Bruthen. I tell you what, well done. Thanks, Gags.
He's a busy man.
And that little plug there for the Meetung Hot Springs. Rach, his lovely wife's been probably busy, more busy than you, mate. You've been on the golf course. So listen, we've got our last guests of the night, and we're very, very grateful to have a couple of the boys from Swifts Creek. They've come down the hill, so we really appreciate it. We've got David Westland, who's the coach of the senior side tomorrow, and Richard Harrison, who tells me he's playing across half forward. He doesn't want to be any more specific than that. So Richard, we might start with you. How's the feeling been around the club this week in the lead up to a grand final?
Thank you, Reese, for the last minute message to get me up here. Really appreciate it. Really prepared myself for this. As the typical feeling that you have around the footy club, nerves are high, excitement, just seeing the community get together last night and then really supporting all the boys and all coming together and doing the best we can and preparing as well as we can for tomorrow.
So yourself, as weird of a question as this is, have you had dinner? What are you going to have for dinner tonight? What are you going to have for breakfast tomorrow? Because if there's any kids here listening, they need to know how to prepare from a nutritional basis.
So traditionally I like to have pasta on a Friday night. It's good for the burn tomorrow. And tomorrow I think up at the creek they're organising smoothies for us and an egg and bakey roll. The traditional stuff, waking up in the morning. But I'm more of a Weet-Bix kind of man, so I might have 4 Weet-Bix, 5 if I'm feeling lucky, and a little bit of brown sugar on top of that.
Now, Dave, as a coach, how are you feeling, mate? You must be pretty nervous at the moment, but making sure the boys get there to start with, and you don't get anyone come down with the spicy flu.
Yeah, you must know our group pretty well. Making sure they're all there tomorrow. No, the nerves were there last Saturday. I think if you can get through that, you can get through anything. So, pretty relaxed.
Awesome. Now, I did see Marky Cooper put during the year, who was he was an awesome talent as a junior and a forward, and kicked 100 goals in his junior career, which is, by any level of football, is a huge effort. You put him back. Talk us through that.
Yeah, actually, I can't take the credit for it. That was his idea. And he's run, and he's just a great kick, and he's very damaging off the half-back flank.
Yeah. No, that's definitely, that surprised me when he put that up. And, most sides he's played at, he's played forward, and that was an interesting tactic. Couple other of the boys down there, who we looking, I think they're looking through the team list today, I think probably your leg speed could damage him, could damage South. South look like they've gone with the youth, and they've made a few changes. I think the boys are at the back. I think you may have forced their hand on a couple of decisions. Talk us through that.
Yeah, the conditions last time we played, it was wet and heavy underfoot. I think tomorrow it's going to be the game's going to be a lot quicker, which hopefully suits us. We're a really good running side, and it's going to be really interesting. I think, hopefully our run can be the difference.
Now, where is the great man, the Slicky Richie? Where's he been playing, and where's he been making a name for himself up there at the Creek?
Yeah, no, he's sort of a Mr. Fix-It man a bit. We chuck him back, and then we chuck him forward, and then he gets a run in the gut. So, he's been really good to have slips. As a utility this year, he can impact in any of those positions.
Now, the great man, he does like his hair gel. Does he chuck a bit on at half time and that like he used to do at the Pies?
Yeah, I haven't caught him yet, but I'm pretty sure he does actually. We'll go with that anyway.
No, listen, thank you so much, guys, for coming, and it was good to end on a little bit of a note about your hair gel, because Reece has given it a fair crack tonight too, isn't he?
Shining.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all the best for tomorrow. Thank you, Jess. Jess has come with the gifts again. So, as we suggested to the last guest, don't have that for breakfast tomorrow. It is magnificent, but probably not football food. The 4 and 20 pies from Paddy's, thanks for that, guys, and Lukey's with their smokehouse, cabana, and the couple of half dozen stubbies there as well from the pub. So listen, thank you very much, guys. All the best. We're done now. Listen, it was great. Thank you so much to the Bruthen Inn for having us. Thanks for everyone for coming along. We haven't done a live show before where we've had a decent audience. Jeff, fantastic behind the camera, mate. You do all the work. We just turn up. What would you like to say, Reece, to close out?
Just a quick thank you to Stretch and the guys from the Bruthen Inn. It's awesome seeing so many people come out. It has been a rough 2 years, so just keep remembering that. Make sure you get along to the footy tomorrow, whether it's Omeo, East Gippy. Have a bit of fun. Don't take it too serious. Give the opposition players a bit of shredding, but leave it at that. Give the umpires a bit too for me, but don't take it over. Don't give them too much. So all in all, have fun. It's been awesome fun. Stay safe and enjoy the day.
Shrek is gonna kick 10.
Shrek's gonna kick 10 by the.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Well done. Good luck. Thanks, Phil. Good luck tomorrow.